Greetings and salutations! My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and we are revisiting things that we actually reacted to before, but there has been new trailers released with a new look at two upcoming Pokemon games, and I'm counting Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl as one game because it's one game. We've all known all along, ever since the very beginning. Fuck you, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, for the things that you make us pay for. We'll also be checking out Pokemon Legends Arceus as well in this same video. I'll leave timestamps and chapters down in the timeline below so that if you are only interested in one half of that, you can skip to it. We did check these both out when they were first initially revealed, and because I was really interested in the amount of hate that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were getting, and I checked them out and I was like, I think these look great. And then like Pokemon Arceus, I was looking at and I was like, man, this could be good, but this looks really rough. And I'm hoping that a new look at these with the recently released trailers will just show us more of what I think is going to be brilliant when it comes to Diamond and Pearl. And then hopefully we see something better when it comes to Legends Arceus. I didn't dislike what I saw, but we needed to see more and hopefully see it running better. But this is on Nintendo Switch, so it probably still runs like ass, but I can hope. I can dream, right? Yeah. So without further ado, let's begin. Can I have some quality? Hey, there we go. That's less blurry. Hello there. It's so very nice to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. Your very own tale of grand adventure is about to unfold. You know, when they first showed this off, it made me laugh so much because so many of the remakes that we've been getting, people have been just wanting like a one-to-one remake with updated graphics, and then we finally got a one-to-one remake with like just upgraded visuals in Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, and everyone's like, you didn't fix or change anything! I think this looks adorable and great. There's a gym! No way! In Pokemon? Never. Like, I legitimately think that the majority of this looks better than Sword and Shield. The Style Shop. See, and they're adding updates and things that weren't there before. I don't remember those being that form before. Maybe they weren't. A Grand Underground. So they like added a dungeon and like a mining mini game. What is happening? Okay, your hideout. Yeah. That was a lot. You know, I think that I legitimately think that that was probably one of the best Pokemon trailers, like, ever. Like, ignoring whatever you think about, like, the games, right? Whatever your opinion is on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, setting that aside, in terms of any trailer I've ever seen for anything concerning Pokemon, I think that was legitimately one of the best cut, best, like, most cinematic, like, captivating trailers that I have seen in a really long time, both in general and specifically for Pokemon. Like, whoever did this trailer, Nintendo or the Pokemon Company or Game Freak, even though you'll probably never see this, whoever you entrusted to cut this trailer, you need to have them cut all of their other trailers for you for any game you release ever, because that was a phenomenal trailer. Like, that was a great fucking trailer. Here's your problem with remakes. Usually they add too much bloat. Like, I do not like the 3D Pokemon animation usually. I found that up until Sun and Moon, it didn't bother me too much. But in Sun and Moon, because they went bigger and more detailed, it made the, like, lack of animation all the more apparent. Whereas this is still kind of cutesy. It kind of makes me think of, like, Pokemon Stadium-esque. And I realize those are still very 3D. But they just didn't go for, like, the kind of scale that you see in, like, Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield. You were expecting player character models similar to Sword and Shield? I mean, you get those in combat. Which, I think that's really what it is people have seen what they've done with more modern Pokemons, with, like, Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield. And even things like Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. And this is so faithful to the original Pokemon designs, from all the way through green and red through black and white too. And so it's such a faithful recreation of that it's one of those things of, like, do you like how faithful it is to the original work, or do you just find it lazy? And that's where I see a lot of that argument coming from. I really love this a lot, though. I think this looks great. The only thing that I'm, like, curious about looking at this is the sheer amount of stuff that it looks like they've added. And I'm not sure how much of this will be relevant. I mean, there was the style competitions. You had style competitions in Gen 3 with Ruby and Sapphire, and those carried forward into Diamond and Pearl. I don't remember this, like, Beatmania style game being in it. And I don't remember, like, this, like, Gemcraft miner. Digging was the thing in the OGs. I remember you having to find, like, your hideout that you could set up, and maybe I'm blurring Ruby and Diamond together. I don't remember there being a mini game associated with it. I also, like, here's the other thing that made me go, huh? Which is this right here. There are Pokemon walking about freely, which I believe started, there might have been other games that did it, but the one that I immediately that I was like, oh, this is new, is when they did it in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And then that carried forward also to be the case in Sword and Shield, whereas in Sun and Moon they didn't walk around. Like, you still just found them randomly in the grass or when you were underground. But yeah, there's free roamers here, and I didn't even notice initially. I was like, Pokemon, yeah. And then, which, like, there's a fucking Quagsire over here? Like, is this a wild Pokemon? Can you just walk up and catch a fucking Quagsire? And then, you know, there's a freaking Munchlax that they walk into. Like, the Onix wasn't a big deal, right? Like, but in here we got a freaking Meditite and a Munchlax, which are generally, like, special. So, I don't know. If that's how much they've expanded the base systems. They did have a free roamers even in Crystal. You couldn't see them, though. You couldn't see the free roamers. Like, they didn't, you like, when you walked through a zone, you didn't see them walking around in the grass. How? Where? Because if you're talking about, like, the legendary dogs, that functions slightly differently. Not walking, no? Because, like, the legendary dogs did roam, but you couldn't see them. Gyarados you were mostly thinking about? That was one. Yeah, but that was only one. That wasn't everything that was walking around. Because there's been a few instances where they put, like, a singular, like, interactable Pokemon, but that's not free roaming. That's more like a placed event rather than just the random Pokemons. So, yeah, interesting. It looks like they've taken a very faithful recreation. I was already interested, and then they took it even farther, and it's clear that they've even added, like, bonus content or, like, end game content with, like, an underground dungeon that you crawl through, and then, like, this, like, space version that Team Galactic has going on. So I feel like this is even more than I initially expected. But we're going to check out Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let's move past something that I'm pretty much now completely sold for on day one. But this should be a different story. So, without further ado, let's begin. This is a tale of a time long ago when the lives of humans and Pokemon were still separate. Ooh, those frames though. Those frames though. Oh. Is it just us? Put it to 720. Does it get better? Hang on. It's pretty bad when the cinematic shots running at 15 FPS. And like 480p. Maybe 480p. Oh. Sneaky sneak. It's a Gardevoir. Nita's Rapidash. Fairies. Better be careful. That Stantler's about to toss you off a cliff. 15 FPS is so retro. Oh, God. Capped at 30 FPS if you're lucky, Nintendo, probably. If it was a solid 30, fine. But I know it's probably not a solid 30. Chase that Chimchar. Wait. What? Okay. Catch that Growlithe. So, do you think we get a hang glider, a wingsuit, a parasol? Yes, we absolutely do. There it is. Called it. Oh my God, big evil Pokemon. Strong style, agile style. What the fuck does that mean? It only bounced once? Hold on. That's not how Pokemon works. Not actual gameplay footage. Well, it's animated. I would have been very surprised. It's at higher FPS than the game is. Pokesoul's Breath of the Mons. I'm sad, okay? I'm sad. I love everything that Pokemon Legends Arceus wants to be. Okay? Everything that it wants to be, I really love. But unfortunately, it is none of the things that it wants to be. And, you know, it's perfectly fine to criticize, like, the Pokemon Company, Nintendo, Game Freak. I'm not sure which one of them is directly responsible anymore for Pokemon stuff. But, because, like, they do, like, looking at, like, Sword and Shield, it's like, man, you guys really just decided to just not spend money on this game because you knew you could make shitloads, right? But looking at this, it gives off that same feeling, but not in the feeling that they chose to cut corners for the sake of saving money or making money, but that they were forced to because the Nintendo Switch as a console, this Amazon Fire tablet with connectable controllers, can't handle even the game as it is. And it's one of the reasons that, like, when they announced the fucking Switch OLED, I was so angry. Because I was like, oh man, there's all this talk about a possible Switch Pro. I really hope there's a Nintendo Switch Pro because there's so many games that look fantastic or would be fantastic, but they run like garbage on the Nintendo Switch and they're exclusive to it. We're talking about things like Astral Chain. Looks great. I played all the way through it on stream and I loved what I played, but there was so many times that the Switch just couldn't handle the game. Same thing with, like, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. That game, I didn't even get it because the trailers, some of the trailers were dropping down to like 5 to 10 FPS. And then the game came out and everyone was like, this game's cool. Except for it chugs and chugs and chugs. And if you get too many enemies on screen or if you use too flashy of ability, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity goes from like 25, 30 down to like 10, maybe 15, and you're just sad. And there's so much here that I'm like, the Switch can't play this game. The Switch can't play this game. It can't. They made it work. Like, they made it work. But it's like when you see games that are like optimized for PlayStation 4 Pro. And for some reason, it has a version that also came out on PlayStation 3. And you're like, oh, that one's either going to look real bad, run real bad, or both. And it ends up being both. And this makes me think of that. And it makes me sad because there's so much here that I want, that I know it not just will not deliver, but cannot deliver. And that makes me sad. Because I just know that this is going to be such a middling experience that is just completely held back in every way by the console that it's restricted to. Same reason I was really concerned about Monster Hunter Rise. They actually did a pretty good job optimizing that game and making it run decently well. But Mortal Kombat 11 for Switch versus your version of PlayStation 4 Pro, yeah, there's lots of comparisons that can be made. And it's tragic. It really is, because I love the Nintendo Switch as a console, as a concept. But its power, it doesn't even match my fucking phone. And that's sad. That's sad. And this makes me sad. Makes me sad. Nintendo power. Throwing it back. All right, but to you watching that checked out all of that with us, thank you for sticking through all of that. I appreciate it a lot. What did you think? What did you think? What are your thoughts on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? If you felt poorly about it on the first trailer, did the second trailer change your mind? And the same question to be posed about Pokemon Legends Arceus. Unfortunately, I was hopeful on the first trailer for Arceus, and then on the second one, I'm like, never mind. Never mind. I will just dream of what you could have been and what you are not. So leave your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to carry the conversation on somewhere else, two great places to do so are on Twitter and Discord. And speaking of Discord, some of these reactions that we do, the trailers are actually provided by the community. We have a channel dedicated to them on our Discord server. And if you haven't noticed, we've been having a live conversation, and that conversation takes place on our Twitch channel where we stream 4 days a week. And we do these reactions at the end of the streams so we can do have this interaction together with one another. And it's a great, fun time, and I welcome you to it. And there's links to everything that I just mentioned down in the description below. We're actually going to go record another one right now. And if you want to go check that one out, it should be somewhere on this channel. Or if you're watching this like the day it came out, it'll be out soon. And if you do go watch one of those other videos, or if you see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.